Hi guys, so this is the second baseline test that you're going to be doing, and this time we're just going to give you some really basic facial proportions in order to help and support you a little bit when doing your second baseline. Now some of you will know all of these things already. You will have maybe done them at primary school, or you might have even done them with us in school. But if you've never heard of any of these things, that's absolutely fine. I'm going to go right back to the basics for all of you anyway. And for some of you, even if it's a refresher, just make sure you pay attention. Now, there are different ways of doing this, and some people do it really intense where they measure every single little piece of detail. What I'm going to show you now is just very bog standard basic, and it'll help you a little bit. So what we're going to start off with is firstly we're going to sketch. So what I mean by that is we're not drawing like one really heavy continuous line. It's going to be a light pencil line that's made up of lots of little lines joined together. So instead of holding my pencil down here, which might be a natural reaction for some of you, I'm going to hold it halfway down and at a slight angle as well. And what this means is it just allows me to apply less pressure when I'm drawing, and that'll help me get those nice light lines. So we're going to start off by drawing one straight line down the middle. Now notice I'm not using a ruler. You shouldn't use a ruler if you absolutely have to, like if it's going completely wonky and you're having a nightmare, I will allow it, okay? But I'd rather you try and do it without and just sketching it. Now your second step is to draw a circle. And this is where we sometimes end up with potatoes rather than circles. But just have a go. As you'll see, I'm still sketching, so it's lots of little lines that I'm drawing. I'm not just drawing like one whole big circle together, because that will never look good. And don't be afraid to rub it out if you need to. If it's not perfectly round, don't stress. Mine's not perfectly round, and I'm definitely not stressed. Okay, there we go. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to work just based on this first circle here, and I'm going to look for about halfway. So very, very lightly, I'm going to draw my halfway mark. Okay, I'm then going to half this section and the bottom section. Again, let's get those really nice light lines in, like that. And obviously, nobody has a head that's perfectly round. If you do, that's extremely unfortunate, but you shouldn't have a perfectly round head. We are missing the bottom half of our face here. So what we're going to do is, I don't want the second circle that I draw to be the same size. So I'm going to measure out like this, so you need to watch carefully. I'm going to measure the full circle, and I'm going to take off one of the quarters like that. And I'm going to swap that down to here. And I'm going to use my left hand and not my best hand. I'm just going to mark off where that circle is going to be. Now this circle is going to start here from that bottom quarter, and it's going to be slightly smaller, obviously. Now I'm going to sketch just a bit lighter because we're using that marker point. And then I can get that in there. Okay, there we go. And we're going to do the exact same thing. So this now should be a quarter of this circle. So we have a quarter, a quarter, a quarter, and a quarter, which equate to a whole circle. And then we also have a quarter here. We're going to half it. We're going to half it again. I'm going to half that circle there. I'm going to half it there. Okay, now, the way that we're going to look at it is we're going to look at this bit here at the top. This is the top of the head, the top of your noggin there. So we're just going to label that top of head. This bit here is actually where your hair is. Or hair, sorry, I say it weird. We're going to ignore this one because that's just the centre of the circle. And then this one here, so this bottom quarter where the two circles overlap, that's going to become your eyes. This next quarter is going to become your nose. And then lastly, we're going to have your lips there. Okay, looks nothing like a face just yet. Now, the last thing that we're going to do, and this is the bit where a lot of students tend to struggle in lessons, and it's creating the face shape. But we've built a bit of a scaffold here. We now want to join up these two circles, this top circle to the bottom circle and the chin. Now it's going to make a very oval shape face there, but it'll definitely do for now, for our purposes. Now obviously if you were drawing somebody who had a bit more of a square jaw, you would draw it a little bit more square or masculine, and that's absolutely fine. So you can shape the jawline how it suits the person that you're drawing best. But for right now, we're just going for basics here. Now with the eyes, we're going to use this line here in the center there for your eyes. Going to look for the middle of those like that. And then the middle again. And mark those off. And we're going to just sketch very lightly in where those eyes would be. We don't want them too close together. We don't want them gigantic. It's not a cartoon. And we don't want them too far apart, but we can get some basic eyes in there just for now. And with the nose, what I would do is I would just draw in some basic features there for the nose, and the same for the mouth. Just sketch out shape-wise where you want these different things to be. Okay, ears go on the side, so they're on the same line here. They go on the side of the head there. And then you can add in, obviously, your neck afterwards. Now, we've got no detail there on the eyes, so I'm going to stop there. I'm going to go back to now the booklet. And I'm going to go to the image that we are working from. Okay. Now, you'll see we're quite far off from what the original image looked like. But by no means are we completely out of, reach of getting to anywhere near this. This is just a basic guide for your facial positioning. And it's to stop us from having things like this. We don't want this. I see all the time eyes in the top of the forehead instead of actually being halfway down the face. Whereas now they are halfway down the face. Now, I could continue this demonstration, adding all of these details onto the face and making it look really realistic. However, this is a baseline test. So here is your scaffold to help you step by step. It is now your job to get from this to looking more like that. Okay, so you can change the shape of the face. You can add in the hair. Remember I said the hairline was from here, but as you can see on the picture, it's a little bit higher up from the angle of a head. So it's up to you now to get from this version to this version, okay? I have full faith that you're going to be able to do it. Do your best, stay safe and be good.